Good morning, everybody. This is Dee Reinhardt. I am going to be starting our call today, and if at any time during the course of the presentation you have a question to ask, you can type it into the Q&A section. We are going to be talking about finding work support tools and services. We do have a couple of handouts in the file pod below the Q&A pod that you can download. If you do click on them, you will be, they will open up into another window, so don't be surprised if you don't see it right there, right now. It will be showing up on a different window as you move forward with your web browser, whatever one you're using. One of the things that we're going to be talking about today is our work support tools and services through Illinois Worknet. So how can Illinois Worknet help you? And one of the things that I wanted to do is give you a couple of examples, and then we'll go live to show you what is actually going on the website. And this is one of the examples here. You saw an email about an upcoming webinar, but you can't remember when it was taking place. You would go to the News and Updates section. You heard about a set of flyers that talked about social media and the job search, but you couldn't remember what page they were on. All you have to do is go to the Download and Print section of the website. Your friend is visually impaired and needs a resource that could help with their job search. You would go to the link that takes you to Disability Works. Your younger brother's friend just returned from serving in the military, and she is trying to find a new civilian job. You could take her to the Veterans Step Guide or recommend that to her. We can also help by helping you when you're on your way to a job interview and you wanted to update yourself on a couple of soft skills so that you might have some examples to share with the potential employer. All you have with you is your cell phone, no laptop, no computer or anything. What could you use? You could use the Job Prep mobile app. Your 16-year-old has a learning disability and is trying to find a job. You suggested they check out how beneficial the Summer Youth Employment Program is. You can go to look at different examples from our success stories. We can also help by, what if you don't see the company from which you were laid off on the company layoff search page? Where would you find advice? Under the FAQ page, you might find out how to actually use that information from the search page that you couldn't find. You heard the term metropolitan statistical area in a webinar from Illinois Worknet and didn't know the meaning. You could always go to our glossary to take a look at the meanings of all the words that have something to do with workforce development. You want to read more about preventing violence in the workplace so that you can be more successful at work. You could take a look at our articles that are included in our blog on managing your work success. And being without a job requires some new budgeting skills you hadn't really needed before. You know you saw something on Illinois Worknet, but you couldn't remember where it was. So all you have to do is go to the Work Success Support videos on Illinois Worknet. So let's take a look at it live. I'm going to pull my screen over and make this bigger here. Now, if you need this bigger on your computer, all you have to do is click the little icon at the top of that little pod that has the 4 arrows pointing out, and that will make it full screen on your computer. And I just increased the view ratio on my page. So let me see by a show of hands if everybody can see my computer screen okay. So raise your hand with the little man at the top of the screen. Great. So several people have answered, so I appreciate you answering me. So let's move on here now to see about our updates and help section. And that's where all of the items that we just referred to in the PowerPoint are on the menu. So news and updates is the first item on the menu. And what you can do with news and updates is a couple of different things. You can access the archive from all of our different articles and press releases that are on the website from October and up to now. And you can read the most current ones here. Scroll down a little bit and see 4 or 5 of them that have been posted recently. Now, if you did happen to miss one of our webinars, we do always post a news article about the webinar with a link to the recording. So make sure that you check those out. Or if you even just want to go back and view it again because there was a tip in there that you just maybe didn't get written down quickly enough. You can look by categories depending upon what the topic is that you're looking for. And best of all, you can put your email address in there to receive email updates whenever we post a new news article. You also have the ability to check each of our social media, Illinois Worknet's social media platforms, and click on it to access our social media. Next item on our list is the download and print section. I like this section because all you have to do here is type in a keyword. So if I type in social media and hit the search button, it will give me all of the items that have something to do with social media that's in that document. Now let's make it a little bit tighter and look at resume. Need to spell it properly. And we're going to select an individual audience. We're going to pick a particular subject, and I'm going to look for jobs. I'm not going to pick a subcategory, but I wanted to show you, oh, well, let's pick job search. And then we can pick the result type of the document that we want. I'm going to pick a PDF. And then you can pick the date, modified date of what you want, a year ago or a month ago or today or all of them. And as I look, I now see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different documents. And if I hover, it gives me an idea to the right-hand side here of what that particular document looks like. Again, with the Quick Start Guide, I believe this one was in Spanish, this one is in English, same document, just different languages. Personal information sheet, what do you need to use on this? And then your job search record. So those are documents that you might want to use in conjunction with your resume. Then once you click on the document, it will take you to a new window, and then you can either print it or download it or save it in a current view. Next on our menu is Disability Works. Now this is a link to our sister website for Disability Works, but what it does is it gives you a little bit of an overview of what you would find on the Disability Works website. So it offers you some tools, it gives you some resources, and helps you stay connected on there. Additionally, at the bottom of the page, we have a listing of links and resources that you might want to use in association with Disability Works. The next item is the Veterans Step Guide And this is information about veterans returning to civilian duty. It has 3 steps here that you can follow by, and suggest this to friends of yours who might need these resources. If you click on the link, it takes you to another page in the step guide with additional resources. And all you then have to do is go to the arrow and click the next. It will take you to the next step. But if you want to go back to the main page, all you have to do is click at the top of the page and go back to the Veterans Step Guide main page. So this is a nice resource available, and it will help our veterans returning use Illinois Worknet to their advantage. The next item on our menu is the Job Prep mobile app. Now, we talked about this being available on your phone, on your smartphone. It is available for Android, Apple, iPhones, and through Amazon, so you can access almost every single thing that you can get on the full-blown website on the Job Prep app. And we will be doing a demonstration of this app on April 15th. As we're looking at this, we have a flyer about it, how youth can access it, and we have an infographic that gives you a little bit more information. Additional resources are also available at the bottom of the page. Success stories are one of the things that help us, Illinois Worknet, stay in business, because we need the support of our funding as well as businesses and individuals to participate in the programs that we offer through Illinois Worknet and through the workforce development programs. Our success stories can be reviewed and read. You can look at all of them, or we can put up some search filters. You can search by congressional district. So if you're not quite sure which one your congressional district is, you may want to look that up first, or you can just look at all of them. You can also look by program type. We have a listing of all of our different programs that we have success stories from. And you can look by local workforce area. And we've got 26 of them across the state. Now, if you want to click here to view the districts, we have a link that you can take a look. Let me close that little pop-up window. You can take a look to find out which district you have so that you can find out where it is. Now, if you want to look, let's look by program type, and let's look for for mechatronics. And I'm not going to select any more than that, but I'm going to do a search. And what shows up then at the bottom of the page, I guess nobody's put in one. Let's do a summer youth from 2013. We have Mom Succeeds with SYEP. We have SYEP, Everything's Coming Up Roses. And then when we click on the link, it gives us the story that was submitted. When you see just the program logo, that means that there was not an image submitted with the success story. But an image that is not the logo, then it was submitted by the organization that submitted that success story. Now, you might want to submit a success story. Maybe you went through the Illinois Worknet program of some sort. Maybe you went through WIA training, or maybe you went through, or your child went through the Summer Youth Program. You can always submit a success story, and it's a very simple process. All you have to do is follow the steps here on this page. Make sure that your images are good, because you want, when they're going to be showing up on the website for everyone to see, you want to make sure that that success story is going to be viewed favorably. Next on our list is the FAQ. The FAQ stands for Frequently Asked Questions. When you look, you can look by business or individual. Let's take a look at the individual. We can take a look at the subjects. We can look for laid off worker. And when I look at the questions, I can see, how do I apply for unemployment insurance? What if I don't see the company layoff search page? All the different questions that relate to company layoffs, Trade Adjustment Act, all the contact information there. And then maybe I just didn't see my question. So what I can do then is I can click over here on the right-hand side, type in my email address, and then I can click Illinois Worknet. I can click what I want to do. I want to report a layoff, and I can type my question here. I hit submit, and the question goes to everybody at Illinois Worknet. They can then answer my question for me specifically, but if it's something that needs to be added, we will add that question and answer to the FAQ page. We also have on the glossary, you can look up all of the words that you might not really know the definition to and find out what that meaning is. So let's go to, we talked about in the PowerPoint, we talked about metropolitan statistical area. So if I go down to metropolitan statistical area, it gives me the definition of what that is, and it gives me a link where I can go check out that particular definition even further. So when links are appropriate, we include those into the glossary item. We also talked about managing your work success. On managing your work success, we have blog articles, as we do on all of our other menu items. These blog articles have to do with managing your work success, as the header says. So we have items here about how to apply military skills to civilian jobs, bully recognition 101, banking and savings 101. And as our articles continue to grow, we will continue to add more and more. The page numbers across the bottom will take you to the different pages of articles. Our menu item that includes videos shows you the videos from playlists that have something to do with, on this particular menu, money management and budgeting basics. So you can take a look at all of these videos to help you understand a little bit more about managing money, especially if you are in an unemployed situation. Last but not least on our menu is the work success support resources. This is a list where you can type in a keyword. So let me type in budget, and it gives me two items here that are live links. These links will always be good because we've got a smart database system that we use to help make sure that it's checking the links on a regular basis to make sure that everything is still viable. So we have an introduction to budgeting, and we have mymoney.gov. Now if I go up here and I type bullying, it doesn't find any results. But if I talk about violence prevention, again, we have no results. But you can look for our resources on all of these different items. So that's it for our menus, our menu items for updates and help. Do we have any questions from the audience that I need to answer? I'm looking right now in our Q&A. And Chelsea took care of the one item. We like to refer everybody to our live Worknet centers that are open, and you can go to the Network and Connect and look for the Illinois Worknet Service Finder to find what sort of resources are available for you. And we did cover this in one of our previous webinars on the Network and Connect section. So I don't see any other questions being typed right now. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. I'm going to pull over our closing poll questions. So if you have the ability to answer these questions for us right now, I would appreciate it. And again, thank you for joining us today. We will post this recording as soon as possible. And while you all are finishing up answering those poll questions, I am going to close our recording for the day. Thanks once again for joining